Warning! Warning! This podcast is not for the easily offended. We are two guys that think everything and anything can or is a joke.
There is no limits to what our minds may come up with. But understand, these thoughts are all in the nature of comedy, and nothing said here should be taken as gospel. Neither of us are Jesus.
Our testosterone is just too damn high, man.
Fuck yeah, brother!
Anyway, welcome to the show. Prepare to witness a hurricane of humor and thunderous thoughts as we take conversations on a whirlwind to the limits. Hell yeah, brother.
I don't care about humor. Sam, without humor, there's only Hitler.
Do you think that Tarzan was a virgin whenever he met Jane, or was he clapping monkey ass before that?
AIDS. My last name may be Todd, but I'm no retard.
Whoa.
You look like a guy that only watches Simpsons porn. You're a fucking homosexual.
Free to homie Sean Connery, dude. He didn't do
Dude,
nothing wrong.
from his grave. Give me a Ouija board. Let's talk about bitches, Sean.
Hanging out with me is like a ride on the Titanic. You didn't expect it, but you're getting wet. If I'm in Bangkok and get fooled, but I don't hate it, am I bisexual?
What if I texted you something like, Daddy, I'll throw it back on you?
If you ever text me the words daddy, I will block you.
Of course the conspiracies about the Jews are real. Because their Holy Land is called
Israel.
and treated like a Twizzler and twist her up in Naked Twister.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to clapcleats.com. Promo code Hurricane of Thoughts. That's Thoughts, T-H-O-T-S.
What's going on, Hurricane homies? It's your boy, the Juggernaut Jester Josh. And I'm back for another Tubular Tuesday. I just had to make sure the audio was right. That's what the headphones was about. Did a little adjustment. Had to make sure. What's going on, Pink Assassins? Congratulations on the affiliateship. Welcome to the club. Even though I'm actually on my way to destroy my affiliateship, so be it. Twitch thinks they can pull a fast bamboozle on me, bro. I came to Twitch because it seemed years ago like the freedom land. Like somewhere I could go and perform my comedy without having to worry about things. And a place that I could grow. Well, it seemed like it was going to something bigger than just video games, but it plateaued. And now it's even going downhill. And they're getting very, very litigious about their wokeness. And I, for one, don't like it. Now I have to pre-advertise whether I'm going to talk about tobacco, drink alcohol, if I'm going to talk about sex, or like just sexual stuff in general. I have to disclose that before This is a podcast. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I have no idea if I'm going to talk about how Scarlett Johansson's so hot. I guarantee you she has weird nipples probably. I can't say what. I already broke it. I didn't mark down sexual as the thing. Oh God. I text on TOS. But I digress. Oh shit, Pink. Let me get you. Motherfucking. Boom. And there we go. My man needs the emotes. All right. And then we take a shot for that. All right. Okay, let's talk about my birthday. I'm an OG, Chad. I am an OG, an old geezer. I've officially joined the status of no longer a young buck. Thank you. You'll have to go back in my Discord and on my channel and look at all the rules and regulations and how we worded everything. I think we got it covered. Oh, dude, it's more of a fun thing for me because I want to start streaming on more than just Twitch, and we can't do that now. So like, because it's a comedy podcast, not just game streaming, like I need to be able to reach other avenues of the internet and streaming and clips and stuff like that. And YouTube, they're like super woke, so like my videos, like on my own computer that it knows that it's my account, I can type in the exact name of my YouTube channel, and I have to go through filters and filter out a bunch of stuff to even find my channel. Like, that's how fucking screwed shadow band wise I am. And then on Twitch, like, people go to just chatting to see girls in bathtubs and kiddie pools in their living rooms with their tits all oiled up, talking about how they're going to do content for their OnlyFans or some shit, right? That's what people go to just chatting for. Like 2.5, 3 years ago when I started this, Twitch looked like it was on the rise to more than just video games and tits, right? So now I have to adapt. And in order to be able to adapt, I need to be able to stream on up-and-coming platforms or post my videos. Like, I like posting my entire podcast with just, like, not really anything edited out, because I don't believe in editing out anything I say. Welcome to the world of snowflakes? Yeah, dude. Exactly, dude. It's fucking crazy. Crazy. So, Twitch won't let me... I have a promotion with Clap Cleats. Listen. When you're going against Twitch terms of service, and you need to serve Twitch some serve ass... Okay? And you need more grip to thrust that hip. Because, you know, Twitch is going to have lawyers to get real slippery. Okay? And if you need more traction for that action, if you need more friction for your sex addiction, you're going to get Clap Cleats. They've got the grip to thrust that hip. I can't even do that. What I just did, which wasn't even great, not even planned out, I have way better ones. Okay? That right there could get me fucking canceled because Twitch doesn't approve of it. Like, get off my nuts, Amazon. Don't you guys have enough money? But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, where, like, it's not like I actually have a problem with it, other than the fact that I'm already not gaining I'm not gaining anything from being on Twitch, and then because you can't tell me that it's going to benefit me, like, if I go on here, and I do the thing that it says, and I check, oh, we're going to talk about drugs and alcohol. I'm going to be drinking on the stream. We might talk about sexual content. We might use vulgar profanity. If I check all those boxes, it's not going to help me. It's probably most likely going to hurt me and put me into a smaller area to be seen. So, like, what's the point of that? And if I'm going to start streaming to Kick or Rumble or whatever I want to start doing where it's like more like wide open, or even if I want to start doing the thing where I stream to Twitter, now that Twitter's starting to take off, because Elon's there with videos and stuff, they could cancel my Twitch account just because I streamed it somewhere else. Like, and that's not cool to me. That's not what I signed up for originally. You guys changed the terms of service, and now I'm changing mine. But I digress. Me and America have the same birthday week. Oh yeah, it's true. It's damn true. Okay? Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. So, 4th of July. I wanted to talk about this last week, but there wasn't really anybody here, which I don't blame anybody. It was 4th of July. I only streamed because I never miss a Tuesday, other than when I'm on vacation. So, I wanted to talk about the importance of 4th of July. So now we have a bunch of, as Pink would say, snowflakes. Oh, by the way, Pink, things start picking up around 7 or so. That's when most people start showing up. So if you want to come back and promote your affiliateship and what you're doing on Saturday, go ahead and come type it in the chat. But, so America, the July 4th is funny to me for a few simple reasons. One, as Americans, it's hilarious that we don't know any other country's Independence Day. Right? Like, we know Cinco de Mayo and we know Canada's, but they're our border countries, so, like, that's neither here nor there. But we don't know any of the rest of the world's Independence Days, but everybody knows ours. People even celebrate it. England lights off fireworks for the 4th of July, and they're the people we beat. And then everybody else's Independence Day is celebrated because our Independence Day is celebrated, and most people's independence came because they saw you could become independent from Britain because of us. But hey, all these little snowflakes being, America's the worst, while fucking scrolling TikTok with their mindless dumb asses, can't even formulate complete thoughts, everything's in a fucking TikTok hashtag, right? That's how they think now. They don't even have formulated thoughts, like, it's all focused, like, they look at a page and they're like, that's the answer. Meanwhile, it's an entire complex world system of things that go on, and they're just like, you don't like gay people. Well, actually, I don't have a problem with gay people at all. I just don't think we should have our country, when a good portion of the world still hates that stuff, acting like it's the only thing we celebrate, and that hurts our trade with India, hurts our trade with the countries that have the gas, like Saudi Arabia and stuff. Like, why do you think Russia still has so much support after a year of invading a country? It's because we're not great either, and people are like, yeah, America looks like they're going downhill too. And I'm not saying it's because of the gays, I'm saying it's because of the corporations advertising the gays in Muslim countries that we do business with and we rely on for cheap gas. So, that's, take that as you will, dude. I don't understand what the fuck these people's problem is with the 4th of July. If you have a problem with America, that's good for you. You want to know why you have a problem with America? Because everybody has a problem with where they live. Congratulations. Do you know what you're not going to do? Move somewhere else. Do you know what other places do when they have a problem with their country? They move here. Like, everybody seems to forget that. Like, everybody see, like, all these young kids that are like, America's so bad, America's so racist, everything's so fucked. None of them are building rafts in Florida and sailing to Cuba. Or going to the fucking Guatemala or nothing. All those people are coming here. People are coming across the Atlantic Ocean all the time to come to America. People crossing. We have a border crisis, and it's not because it's a traffic jam going both ways. We have a border crisis because people are coming in. Nobody's leaving. All these people on TikTok with their little phones talking shit about America. It's the worst place ever. Blah, blah, blah. I don't see you guys doing anything to help society and or leaving this society. I'm waiting for the motherfucker that identifies on a tree in front of my yard. I'm gonna get a permit to cut that bitch down. Hell yeah, dude. Dude, I just like, the whole identity thing is like, it's fine, dude. Whatever. You know what I mean? I don't get all that riled up about that. What I get riled up about is making it seem like to the rest of the world that we're that divided on it, right? Like, in your everyday life, I see a minimum of 25 to 30 people a week. Okay? And if we're not talking about the internet, gender never comes up. I work with multiple gay and bi people. I don't think of them any differently than the other people I work with. I say what I say. They don't seem to care that much. I'm a little bit more cautious, but like, that's just respect. You know what I mean? So I just like the idea of these social media companies and the government making gender identity this huge thing where from the outside looking in, like, if you're in England or fucking India and you read our news or look at our social media, you probably think every day at work, everybody's just like arguing over gender politics. I've had zero conversations about gender politics other than social media and or things the government are doing. So unless I'm talking about Ron DeSantis or Joe Biden having trans people show their tits on the lawn of the White House, or I'm talking about any of that stuff, Gender politics never comes up. Like, nobody's ever like, oh, hey, dude, I think that, dude. You know what I mean? We're still in the fucking 1990s where, like, somebody does something dumb, like, or like something stupid. Like, if somebody loves The Princess Bride, gay. You know what I mean? We're still stuck in the 90s. Nobody's like, no, when people do that, like, oh, gay, nobody's getting, oh my God. Oh my God. I cannot believe it. Oh, absolutely, dude. Somebody said this recently, and I liked it. They said 15 years ago, the left would talk about how the right would say that the left spent too much money on social programs and were helping the blacks and the poors and the this and the that too much, and they were spending too much money and they were going to bankrupt our country. And then the left would say that the right doesn't care about people and they're racist and blah, 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 blah. And now all of a sudden, that's not even a topic. Why? Because everybody's making money. Yeah! Dude, if you look up every person that's been elected twice into the Senate or Congress and or a higher position, and you look at their average salary, and then you look at their net worth, it doesn't line up for any of them. So, yeah, no, it's all bullshit, dude. We're fucked. The whole thing's fucked. We're at the end of an empire, and guess what, dude? We're at the end of an empire with nukes. Fuck yeah, dude. There hasn't been an end of the empire with nukes since before the last ice age. Shout out people that built Göbekli Tepe, dude. Gender and race have always kind of been, well, gender not so much, but, well, actually, yeah. Gender and race have always been the most divisive because we're diverse. If you're not a diverse country, you cannot have disagreements about gender and race. Or at least race. So, we're a diverse country, so you can have a race war or a gender war. Back in the day, it was whites and blacks, men versus female, the original feminist movement. We want to work, which helped the corporations because now corporations can pay half as much because there's twice as many people in the workforce. Back in the day when the workforce was limited and you wanted good quality people, you had to pay more. And then those people required output and the companies had to work around that. And then all of a sudden there's twice as many people, and there was a point in American history, like this is the thing that I find amusing about Donald Trump. This is what I've come to understand about what people that love Trump, what they hear when he says, "Make America great again." They hear, let's go back to when America could have a mom in the house and the dad working a job, not 100 hours a week, but maybe 50, 55, 60 tops, and provide for the family, and they could have a home and a car, and they could go on vacation once a year. When Trump says make America great again, those people are envisioning that. Sounds good. And apparently that existed at one point. And then it went away because now both parents have to work. You still can't afford a fucking house all the way. Cars suck. I'm just take a break off religion for a few. Well, the Soviet Union had nukes and it kind of fell apart. It didn't fall apart, it rebranded. You know what I mean? Like the high-ranking officials in the Soviet Union were not gutter trash peasants when it became Russia. Like, just because they basically just had a rebrand. It's still the same people, they had the same beliefs. I mean, Putin, but like his own words were, the greatest tragedy in the world's history is the fall of the Soviet Union. You know what I mean? So like they didn't actually fall. Like, they're still there. They just changed their name. America was just like, hey, can we stop fighting? Because this is costing a shit ton of money. How about, we just fucking say, oh, you're Russia now. And that's what happened. Oh, they're not, they didn't, see, like, that's another interesting point is, like, when I was growing up, like, right now, the right, and the religious right are all talking about censorship and oh my god, these woke mob, and they're destroying everything, and blah 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 blah, and they're all upset about it. And they're acting like this censorship is the craziest thing that's ever happened. But when I was growing up, I specifically remember there being a lot of religious people upset about everything. Oh, there's too much cleavage in that movie. Oh, that movie used too many foul words. Like when I was growing up, the religious right, or so the news said, was upset about everything all the time. They wanted everything stopped. I don't talk about nothing in school. Don't watch this movie. Don't watch that movie. Harry Potter's the devil. That's something that people still talk about on the religious side of things. That kids can't watch Harry Potter because it's demonic and devil worshipping and shit, right? So it's funny as hell to now see the other end of the spectrum where they're the ones crying about being censored, about what they say and what they can. Everybody's hating us because we love Jesus. Well, you just don't have the power anymore. The power dynamic flipped. That's all it is. And the CIA plays a large part in what actual culture is. Like if you go back and you research the 70s and 80s about what became popular, other than rock and roll music, okay? Other than rock and roll music, almost everything that got popular, Broadway plays, movies, artists, all that stuff, all of it was propaganda to make you go towards a direction for the future. So, for instance, the CIA wanted America to seem way bigger, cooler, fantastic than it was in the early parts after JFK was killed. So they started boosting all these impressionists and this weird art and stuff because they wanted it to seem more free and more fun and more enticing for people to want to move here. And then in the movies, they always made America with like we were just talking about, the way people see things when Trump says make America great. All those movies with the dad working and coming home, the kids and the wife being happy, all that shit. So all that was to get an image in your head. And now we're just dealing with the same thing. They just found out that two of the most popular TikTok people that talk politics, like young kids, were paid by the DNC to talk good about the Biden administration to get young kids on board with Joe Biden. And so a lot of people are saying rap music is a part of a CIA thing to get to keep ghettos from rising up and to keep people in a dumbed down mind state, things like that. Oh, but what I'm saying is that, have you guys noticed recently an influx in the amount of popular or famous Indian, like Indian people and celebrities and stuff? Well, you could probably guess that that's because we're beefing with China, and if something were to ever happen to the relationship between manufacturing between China and America, India would probably most likely be the people we turn to. So to get India on our side and to make America like India so the transition would be easier to sell to the American people, you have a couple comedians start rising up, they get popular. Okay, then you have a movie star, then you have a song go viral. So now, like, all of a sudden there's all these Indian people, and I'm not saying they're not talented, they should have been famous all along in my opinion. But it's funny that it's over a span of a couple years that this group gets boosted up. So, it's all weird stuff like that. And then on TikTok, they'll just be like, America sucks. America sucks so much that we don't even like our own entertainment. We have to watch Indians. Like, that's how people think now. Like, I just laid out this entire scenario where the CIA pulls strings behind the scenes to get American people ready for the eventual situation where China cuts off ties with us and we have to move to India. Not move there, but like move our trade relations with India and become, and we'll be in a position of weaker, because when we started this trade stuff with China, we had all the power, blah, blah, blah. We would be moving to India in a form of like, they have the better negotiating table. So we would need us to be like, fuck yeah, we'll pay twice as much because India's cool. Unlike China. But I digress. I did not want to talk about societal things to start the show. And what's up, Neil? Long time no see, fool. How's it going? Neil, I got some interesting stuff to end the podcast with, bro. It's Pokemon related. All right. I want to talk about Indiana Jones. Who here likes Indiana Jones? Raise your hands. Raise them high. So Indiana Jones released that new movie. I had never really seen any Indiana Jones movies. So what I did was, my buddy wanted to go see it, and I was like, well, fuck it, dude. There's 4 days until we go see the movie. I'll watch one Indiana Jones movie a night until that day. The first and third one were great. The second one was terrible. And the fourth one was meh. Okay, I agree with you. The second one, I probably would have liked it. If it wasn't for the fact that that actress that you told me was sleeping with the director, if that actress didn't scream so much, bro. Look. Movies. This is something you need to understand going forward. Because I don't understand how nobody's figured this out yet. You do not need... I understand it's a scream, so it needs to be louder. But some people put movies on and fall asleep, and then there's a scream and it wakes them up, and they don't know why they're awake because the scream was 1 second, and they feel like they're going insane. So you don't need to make the scream 87 decibels higher in the movie. Where my TV has this, it's like, like, that's not necessary. You can do, you know what I mean? You can do that. We get it, it's a scream, they're scared. So she screamed so much in that movie, it was unfucking bearable. It was unbearable. The first one. I did enjoy the first one. Here's the thing that I've discovered with Indiana Jones. I don't like them for 2 reasons. It never gives you any backstory on anybody. It's mostly about the music. And the fight scenes are just Indiana Jones punching somebody and then punching somebody else and then using a whip. The first movie, it's fine. It was made in 1981. God bless y'all. That shit looked fire. Okay? But then by the third movie, when every fight scene looked exactly the same, just Harrison Ford, who cannot throw a punch, by the way, throwing fake-ass punches and people just getting beat the fuck back by 1 punch. So that shit annoyed me. There was never really, like... I guess the thing that annoyed me about the movies, watching them all together like that, is there's each movie has 2 really good scenes that carry the movie, and then everything else is just weird dialogue, no backstory, like, it's just a lot of, like, weird, like, composed music, just weird stuff. I've seen other shows do it way better. Like other movies and shows do it way better. And now they probably did it better because of the feeling you get from watching multiple Indiana Jones movies in a row. But the new movie... The new movie... Well, the 4th movie had magic in it, so I guess this new movie having magic isn't so crazy. But, like, it's a good plot for young people, right? Like, it'd be a good plot in a newer style. Like, good job, Steven Spielberg. You're an OG. You're an old geezer. Like, cool. Good for you, man. Your style don't hit no more, bruh. And stunts that I think. Okay, that's yeah, cool. Like there was certain scenes that were always super good, like the opening scene and then the scene where he's getting chased by the boulder. That shit, I see why that shit's iconic. I get it. But like I walked away from each movie being like, wait, what's the backstory? What happened? What? I walked away from each movie thinking that there wasn't much to the story other than like just walking through cobwebs and stuff. But the new movie, it starts out as a throwback to when he was a young person in World War II. And the effects were not bad. Now, knowing that they were special effects and stuff, I was looking for, the cuts and the way and the stunt doubles and all that stuff. And like you could definitely tell. But in the scenes where it was close up face on, it looked good. They're getting really good with it. And then I think it would have been way better of a movie. This concept for the movie would have been way better if it had a different style of like a different style of I guess what I'm trying to say is Harrison Ford, even with the stunt double parts, like you could just tell he was too old. And it didn't make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like there's just scenes where like it's like, oh God, But if it would have been a movie with young people, young like parkour athletes doing these types of things, and like with the whip, and then like the fight scenes, and then they went back in time, like that shit's fire. The concept of the movie is good. I'll give them that, dude. Whoever wrote that, they're pretty good. I bet it was ChatGPT. But I enjoyed the movie. Probably, I would say, second. Now, in fairness, Neil, I know you said the third one's great. I fell asleep 20 minutes into that one, so I don't really have a good grasp on that one. But to me, the new one goes after the first one. I don't really like any of the digital de-aging or straight up modeling dead people. It looks off in the reanimating dead people field. Yeah, I don't like the dead ones. Like, if you're dead, like, if they're dead, I don't want you putting them in the movie. But the thing that, like, I'm with you. So when I went into this movie, I actually was, like, anticipating coming on here talking shit. Like, just going off about the way everybody's doing movies. But it was literally 5 minutes. You only saw his face 3 or 4 times during the scene. Because like I said, they used a lot of back angles, like fight sequences where you don't see his face, like all that good stuff to make it where like you could tell it was older. They made like a part of it seemed like Mad Max almost, where it looked like it was like first person point of view kinda. So they really didn't do too much of the de-aging. It was mostly this one scene where he's standing there and he's talking with his hands up. And then it's Harrison Ford and then they de-age his face. That's pretty much it. But it was about 35 total seconds of de-aged face in the movie, which I was rather happy with. Just do what James Bond does and get a new actor, or better yet, let the damn franchise die and make your own generic adventure man. Exactly, bro. Like, this is why I was saying a little bit ago. Like, there's a show that I started watching called Blood and Treasure. And Blood and Treasure is essentially Indiana Jones in in modern age, right? So it's literally Indiana Jones in 2023. This super archaeological thief who's super hot. She and this FBI agent that turned good guy, because they used to be thieves together, but then he became a good guy. Her and him become, like, they're basically both super awesome, and they go looking for this Cleopatra's tomb, and they find all this crazy stuff. And it's a show. It's only 8 episodes long, but it's literally way better. Fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah, dude. Did they install the wombat, dude? We need an animal mascot, bro. But, yeah, I do think it'd be good. Like, this is another interesting thing. In the new movie, they said Shia LaBeouf's character was dead. So, like, even if they wanted to in the future, they couldn't make his son the adventurer. So, Indiana Jones is officially done. Thank God. And I think that, like, Indiana Jones bombed in the box office. Now, by bombed, they lost money because they spent too much money making it. This is Disney's problem now. We're living in a post-pandemic world where movie theaters are still a good business if you spend a reasonable amount on the movie. Spending $300 million on a movie is not smart anymore. Don't do that. Spend $4 million, $5 million on a movie. If you gave me $1 million in 3 years, I promise you I could make a movie that would knock your fucking socks off. And these companies with thousands of employees, that's the problem, is these companies have too many employees that they need to take care of. So the budget has to be way too fucking big. So if they want to put, let's say, $8 million in the production, they're actually spending $30 million because of the production team, the actors, the trailers for the actors salaries, the lighting guy, the microphone guy, the editors, the producers, the fucking corporate entities that need their cut, right? And let's not forget, according to Kanye, the big Jews up top. They got to get their cut too. So, how are they gonna learn? So now every time Disney loses, or any company loses a shit ton of money on a movie, they're like, the movie industry's dead. No, it's you guys keep reviving things nobody cares about anymore. You're not making a good story. There's no good stories. Where's the good fucking stories? All the good stories I seem to be watching anymore are independently made shows that get picked up by a streaming service. And then for 2 seasons, when it's independently made, it's fucking awesome. And then the streaming service is like, let's put a production team behind this and make it better. And then it gets worse. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Speaking of movies, apparently, there is a movie about sex trafficking. That's right, a movie about sex trafficking. And it's gaining popularity. Weird. I was just talking about how big blockbuster movies with millions in research and development, millions in advertising, millions upon millions in production value, losing money. And then here it is, this small budget little movie that they didn't even know if they could get in the theaters about sex trafficking is blowing up. And now it's causing controversy because left-wing mainstream media is calling it a paranoid movie, a QAnon conspiracy fan fiction. They're basically saying that this movie is only gaining popularity because of Trump supporters and lunatics. Okay? And I'm not one to judge. I also think that a lot of this stuff I automatically think when I see this stuff from the right, I'm like, I take it with a grain of salt because they're just as much crybabies as the left. They just try to act more macho about it. Okay? But then I started seeing report after report from state to state, from suburb to city, of the movie being interrupted by technical difficulties, emergency evacuations during the middle of the movie, and then attack after attack by mainstream media on this movie. So I had to look into the movie. And I looked into it, and it's made by a group of religious Catholics, Christians, and all around what you would call conservative-style religious people. And they have a real problem with sex trafficking, and they've done a lot of research. And this is where the right makes a good point. We all agree sex trafficking is bad. So even if it is a paranoid movie, why would you be angry at it? Why would you be angry at a movie condemning sex trafficking? Would you be mad at a movie condemning pedophiles? Is Chris Hansen on the line to be canceled next? Has Chris Hansen taken down so many pedophiles that when the next turn of the agenda comes and pedophiles are the protected species in our fucking society? Because that's coming. They're already trying to change their name to minor attracted people. Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. The groomers and pedos don't like when people shine light on them. Oh, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. 100%, dude. See, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I could easily get caught up in some fucky shit. If I got to a point, like, I won't take a big risk in my life right now because I don't want to lose my house, my car, and my job. Okay? And the only one I like is my car. Okay? I hate my job. I hate my house. And I like my car. I'm overall mostly sad. Not sad. Depressed. Angry at the world. And I won't do anything to risk losing what I have because I've been lower. If I got to the point where I was driving Benzes, living in a mansion, and you came to me and you were like, I'm going to make you lose it all unless you fucking go along with this shit, there's a 50-50 chance I'm going with it. Send it to the FBI. Let them know. Let them know I'm corruptible. I just need to get something out of it. Let's go. So, like, I'm not even judging these people super, super hard. I both blame the system, the people, and the public. It's a three-way tie of stupidity. The system's just corrupt enough to keep everything fucked while having the image of, which I agree with, a good system to implement. But just enough room for the corruption that's happened. Okay? Now, what is good about the document is that the document did have cracks in it. And the system does have cracks in it where it can be exploited to this level of corruption. But the good thing is it took over 100 years to get to this point. Right? Some countries, they get a leader, 3 months later, the whole thing's corrupt. So that's a good sign for our system. But our system had just enough holes in it to become this way. Second, the people in the position of power. It's their fault too. You should say no. When you accepted the position, you should say no. Hey, I don't do that shit. I'm for the people, of the people, by the people shit. Okay, so it's also their fault. And then it's also the public. Because we're not educated enough. And we're fucking pom-pom cheerleaders. You know what I mean? Americans are like the hot girls of the world. Okay? The hot girls in high school of the world. We're like, oh my God, we're cheerleaders. You know what I mean? All I have to know is my cheer. I don't need to know how they run plays. I don't need to know who the defensive lineman is. I don't need to know who the free safety is. I only need to know the quarterback because I'm sucking his dick. And I only need to know we are whatever we are. Like the cheer that they do. That's all they need to know. They don't know shit about the game. They are representations of a game they don't know anything about. That's American citizens. We are the hot, dumb cheerleaders of the world. And that's why our system's fucked. Neil, I bet you didn't know this. Chris Hansen's been doing the damn thing independently on YouTube and other places for another 5 seasons. And now Chris Hansen's doing more than that. I think, what the fuck is he up to now? I just heard him talking last year about what he was starting to do. He was starting some sort of documentary. Oh, Chris Hansen was gonna release a documentary on Epstein's Island. Dude, I listened to an interview with Chris Hansen last year. I don't know how I never talked about this. Chris Hansen, the reason why he's been MIA for the last 2 years is because he's secretly working on a huge documentary about Epstein's Island, and he can't give anything away, and he has to stay in hiding and not talk to people because he's worried for his life. Chris Hansen's doing the damn thing. Chris Hansen was so upset they canceled his show. He was like, I'm doing a good thing. You can't tell me otherwise. I don't care if the court system says that these people deserve respect. I disagree. And I agree with Chris Hansen disagreeing with the court system on that. Okay? So he was like, fuck it, I'll do it independently. And then there was another group of people who were like, yo, we have mad respect for Chris Hansen, but we're going to take it a step farther. And they started doing what he was doing, but when the people showed up, they just beat the shit out of him. And that's a good YouTube channel. Before YouTube got all cucky-wucky and fucking deleted it. Dude, some of those videos were crazy, dude. Just 2 dudes in ski masks hiding in the bathroom. Dude knocks on the door. They use a voice changer for a little girl or a little boy's voice. Come on in. Dude walks in, shuts the door, walks around the corner to like peek into the little bedroom area. They pop out of the bathroom and start beating the shit out of him. Yeah, bro. Those guys were legends. Too bad one of them's in jail. That sucks. That's why I laugh when people were like, tech companies don't work with the government. How did they know who was posting the videos for the guy to get arrested? They never said names. They only wore ski masks. Nothing ever came of any of it. There was no, like, is a pedophile? Imagine a pedophile getting the shit kicked out of him, laying on the floor, pulling out his cell phone. Yes, police, I came here to have sex with a 12-year-old and I got the shit kicked out of me. Come get him. Never happened. So literally the pedophile would just go to the hospital, be like, I got randomly mugged. So it's what it is. The only way the police could have found out who this guy was is if YouTube gave the police the guy's IP address so they could track down who it was. So don't tell me that YouTube and companies don't help the FBI and stuff. Yeah, the fuck they do, dude. On my mama, they do. Dude, Neil, my dude. What do you know about Skinwalker Ranch, dude? Skinwalker Ranch. Skinwalker Ranch. Dude, I love ranch dressing, dude. I put that shit on everything, dude. If I could, let's see. If I made a list of the top 10 things that I like, and I cut them out, like, and I went back in time, and I cut them all out, I would literally look like Channing Tatum and Magic Mike, but shorter. 100%. Because my favorite things are Dr. Pepper, ranch, pizza, pasta, hoagies, Doritos. Like, if I cut all that shit out my whole life, I'm a skinny mini motherfucker. That's the one with the, like, the laser surgery on the cattle, right? Oh, it's something like that. So, there's this thing, there's this documentary. There's this show called Skinwalker Ranch where this guy goes to investigate and blah, blah, blah. So it was new on Netflix and I was like, fuck it, I'll watch the second season as I get high and go to bed. So I'm high as hell. I'm watching this thing and I'm trying to like, well, I wonder if there's anything I could talk about on the podcast. I wonder if it's cool. There's got to be something cool if they made a fucking show about it. Not just a show, but 2 seasons renewed for a 3rd season. It's got to have some good stuff in it. So I start watching. Okay? It is so fucking stupid. Okay? So there's this ranch where they're like, all this bad stuff happens. Cows die, lights get seen, there's radiation, people get hurt if you start digging, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So they get this guy to come out, and he's doing this investigation, and he's like, I need to dig. I need to find out what's under the ranch, you know? And he's like, last season I got radiation poisoning, and radiation went skyrocketing, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, I need to dig under the ground to find out what's up. And they're having this meeting, and the guy who owns the ranch is like, oh, well, there's been stories about every time you dig on this ranch, something bad happens. Last year, we started digging, and this guy got a hematoma on his brain, and he almost fucking died, man. And they started doing all this thing, and then he's like, I'll leave it up to my security liaison, Dragon. His fucking securities guy's name is Dragon. And he's like, Dragon, what do you think? Do you think it's safe to dig? And then he's like, you know, bad things always happen on this ranch when we dig, man. I don't fucking know, man. Like, they're fucking, like, freaking out about digging on a ranch because they're like, bad things always happen. Okay? So then, cut to the next episode, they finally get approval to dig because this hole, they filled it with water, and they lied about how much water they put in it. They're like, we put 45,000 gallons of dyed water in it, and it disappeared within an hour. Where did all that water go? So they're like, we got to dig to find out what's up. So they start digging, okay? And as they start digging, this one dude's like, dude, my phone's freaking out. Okay, this dude starts going, my phone's freaking out. It's getting past my password. It's opening apps. It tried calling 911. And, like, they show you a little thing, and it's like, the dude has a cracked screen. My phone used to do that when I had a cracked screen. It's pussy shit, bro. They almost shut down the drilling because they were all gathered around this dude's phone like, how's it doing that? Dude, the U.S. government doesn't even have the technology to do what's happening right now. What? Not one time did they show it actually breaking his password. Every time they were looking at it, his phone's already open and it's doing stuff. Okay? And then every time he was like, it just did this. It just so happened that they weren't looking at the phone anymore. Oh, weird, dude. Fucking pussy shit, bro. It's like the Blair Witch Trials, but Skinwalker Ranch, dude. And I'm addicted to it. I can't stop watching it because it pisses me off so much. Now I get why people stay on the internet. I think the farmer figured out that the creatures didn't like him messing around with metals in the ground or something. Dude, all of it's bullshit because every fucking episode they were like, did you guys see that? It's like an episode of Ghost Adventurers, but they're on a ranch talking about skinwalkers. Okay? They're like, did you see that? It was over there. And they start running, and they're like, I saw it. I swear I saw it. And then, like, they're like, there it is right there. And then, like, the fucking camera pans over, and it's like, I swear it was there, man. Like, it's so fucking stupid. It's so stupid. It's so fucking dumb that it makes me want to go out there dressed on stilts as a giant fucking skinwalker just to give them a good fucking episode. Jesus Christ! Oh, they tell you the original version, but it's all dumb. It's all dumb. They're talking about, oh, this area has radiation, dude. And he's like, I got radiation poisoning. And they show his skin and it looks like a fucking hickey, right? He's like, this is 100% radiation poisoning. So then they bring out this radiation guy, and there's no radiation, and they're like, what's going on in this ranch? How do I get radiation poisoning and then there not be radiation? This place is weirder than we thought. Dude, no, I'm not talking so much about, like, the ranch itself. Like, maybe there is weird stuff going on, but the way they're making it into a show is so fucking absurd. It's so absurd. Like, I'm not discounting that there's probably weird stuff going on the ranch. Like, there is some weird stuff going on the ranch. The weirdest thing that I found was the fact that they filled up a hole that's lined with clay with 45,000 gallons worth of dyed water. The water disappeared within an hour, and then they couldn't find the water draining into anywhere else with the dye. So, like, 45,000 gallons worth of water disappeared in an hour from a hole. Like, that's the weirdest thing to me. Like, them being sitting there, and then there being a trail cam, watching them have a little fucking powwow at a picnic table, and then one guy drawing his gun with a flashlight being like, did you guys see that? And then the other guy being like, I think I did. And he stands up and they both walk, and then as they're walking, they get to the edge of the frame, they start running, and then all of a sudden, somehow, there's a, where they get to in running in the field, there just happens to be a fucking camera guy following them now, and he's like, oh, dude, I swear I saw it, he was right there, and he's shining the flashlight. Like, what the fuck are we doing, dude? Oh, that's what it's like, dude. It's literally like Ghost Hunter, but they're talking about it like it's creatures and stuff. And then, like, there's this one thing where, like, they're, like, shining this laser on the ridge where all the weird stuff keeps getting seen. They're shining this fucking laser on the ridge, and then they see, like, this, like, light. And they're like, dude, did you see the light? Oh my god, did you see the light? I saw the light. Did you see the light? And then they run and they go to the trail cam, and they look at this fucking trail cam video, and it's literally like somebody lit off a fucking firework or something. It's not impressive at all, but they're talking about it like they just saw a UFO for sure. They're like, dude, it just disappeared, dude. It went up and it disappeared. Dude, fireworks do that. Did you know that, dumbass? Like, you're in the middle of a fucking wide open field. Skinwalker Ranch my ass. You need to skinwalk your way back to non-existence, you dumb fucks. You don't deserve a TV show. I deserve a TV show. Put me on Skinwalker Ranch. That shit would be entertaining. I believe aliens were what most people blamed for at Skinwalker Ranch. You know, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Aliens seem legit, bro. Aliens seem legit and more legit every time I think about it. Until the news starts talking about it. Now the federal government has a guy who's in charge of, once a month, talking to the public about UFOs. God damn it. That's scary. Why would the government all of a sudden, in the 60s and 70s, they had a famous project called Project Blue Book, where they hired a guy to go disprove any alien allegations, where he made up stories about swamp gas, giving people delusions, and all this crazy shit, right? This guy's job was to literally, no matter what, prove that aliens and that UFO didn't happen, right? So why would they go from that? And even 10, 15 years ago, if you were a public figure talking about UFOs and aliens, you were ridiculed, disgraced, your mental stability was questioned, you were basically shunned. And now all of a sudden, it's literally part of the government's agenda to inform you on a monthly basis about aliens. Well, now I don't believe in them anymore. Now I'm starting to believe that you guys want me to believe aliens are real. So when you put a bunch of drones in the sky, making it look like a giant spaceship, and then you tell me that you just had contact with aliens, and we all have to fucking change our pronouns to they, you know, like, you want me to believe that? I can't do that. I can't do it. I can't believe in aliens no more. If the Democrats, if the demon rats, and the Redumplicans want me to fucking, you know what I mean? Want me to believe in aliens? I'm out, dude. Aliens aren't real, dude. Not even the Mexican ones. UFO is another good smokescreen. The old UFO denials were because they were testing new technology and the confusion masked it when it was spotted. The current UFO hype is to keep people distracted. Well, also, I think it's gotten to a point where during the first two world wars, America had to release their weapons. So in World War II, we released a plane that was ready in World War I, but we never used it. And then we kept it a secret for 30 years until World War II, and then we released it. I think the governments and scientists in the military have been doing that for so long, and America hasn't been in a true conflict in so long that our technology that we've spent so much money on, the Pentagon hasn't passed an audit within $1 trillion since Bill fucking Clinton, which means since the 90s, we have spent over $1 trillion on Black Ops every year minimum, like black research and development, minimum. That's not even including the things that we label sun research, and then that's actually fucking bomb research, right? That's none of that. I think it's to the point where behind the scenes we become so advanced that we have to start releasing it in weird ways because we need our opponents to know that we have this technology, but we don't want to just be like, hey guys, surprise, 20 years ago we figured out how to break what you know is physics with planes and drones and stuff, and now we have to tell you about it. Instead of doing that, they're just like, hey, aliens are real, aliens are real, aliens are real. So that way other militaries around the world are like, yo, I'm pretty sure that's just the United States flexing. So they know not to fuck with us. Because in case of what's going on right now in Ukraine, if us and Russia were to truly get into a war and we had to unveil, because we were about to lose or we were not doing so well, and we had to unveil these technologies that we've kept hidden for so long, we would look absolutely like gods if we didn't already show our hand, kind of. It's sort of like tongue-in-cheek, like this is what we have. Like it's almost like all militaries on the planet came together and they were like, hey, if you have technology that you want to show off, just say it's aliens and we'll know not to fuck with you. I don't know, man. It depends on the day, man. Some days I believe in aliens, some days I don't, man. It's hard. It's hard, dude. Oh, dude, let's talk about this, dude. England, you know, the original home country. Would you like a spot of tea in the harbour? Boston, would you like a spot of tea? The original homeland, Britain, is finally having some excitement. Their post-pandemic rituals are reviving. They have a tradition that's lasted a long time, decades. And the pandemic ruined that tradition. It ruined it for them. Because people couldn't gather. But now Britain is reliving their tradition of decades of having the Snail Racing World Championships. That's right. If your name's SpongeBob and your Gary is ready for a fucking race, head your way over to London and get yourself ready for the World Championship snail race. So, I find this amusing because as Americans, we initially, all of us, want to laugh and talk shit about snail racing. But when you think about it like this, you might think different. Imagine not being so caught up in your country's bullshit that you can get excited about a snail race. Imagine living in a country that's forgiven its own bullshit, moved on from its past, to the point where its citizens can get excited about a snail race. And not just any snail race, a snail race that they've coined the World Championships of Snail Racing. I strive for America to get past its differences in bias bullshit, in hubris and arrogance. I dare us to get past that, so one day we could get excited about little things again. Back in when I was younger, our town got excited about a gazebo getting built. A gazebo that could hold 5 to 6 people maximum. Our town got excited about that. And now our town doesn't get excited unless the local whore makes an OnlyFans or there's the threat of nuclear war. That's what we're dealing with. This is a good time. It's a great time. I love it here. Fuck yeah, dude. I was born in the wrong time, dude. I 155% should have been born in 1965. Oh. Neil, do you have anything to talk about, buddy? Because I've got, let's see, well, while you find out what you want to talk about, I need to talk about this. I never thought I would start a war with a rapper for a few reasons. Number one being, I'm a comedian, not a rapper. So why would I start a war with a rapper? Number two, most rappers are black, and that would seem like I'm racist. Number three, rappers normally aren't very good at talking off of a beat. Have you heard any of the, lately, any of the Billboard rappers talking interviews? I feel like I'm listening to a 5th grader that needs to be hooked on phonics. Okay? So it's not really up my alley to get in a beef with somebody like that. But Travis Scott has either A, gone too far, or B, paved the way for me. And when I decide what that is, I will act accordingly. Because if I need to start a war with Travis Scott, I 100% will turn his life into Astro World. It will be a disaster. People in his life will die. His career will be on the edge of falling apart. Because I will be his Astro World kicking the ass. Okay? Or, if he paves the way for me, I will bring him along when I ascend to the clouds of greatness. He's almost there. I will reach down and I'll grab him by the hand and I'll pull him up the rest of the way with me. But Travis Scott has announced he will be performing in front of the 3 Great Pyramids of Giza to announce his new album called Utopia. I want to admire it so much. I want to admire the fact that he had this idea. But he doesn't like Egypt the way I like Egypt, I don't think. And if he does, I'll change my tune. But I think he's doing it because nobody's done it before. And that's what he does. He's like, you want me to fuck a Kardashian and get out of it alive? I'm in there. You want me to fucking go and kill a bunch of people at my concert and get away with it? I'm in there. You want me to go perform in front of the pyramids? I'm in there. But at the end of the day, Travis Scott, remember these words. You will not last in a war with the juggernaut Jester Josh. Because I'm coming for your fucking neck, bruh. See this onk? I'm gonna turn you into an Uncle Tom, dude. Get out of here, dude. Hey, you're all good, Pink. I'm just in here ranting about Travis fucking Scott stealing my idea. Over a year ago, I announced that on my bucket list was 3 things. 1, make enough money. Make enough money to live, making people laugh. Number 1 on the bucket list. Number 2, performing at the Great Pyramids of Giza. Number 3, hooking up with Meg Thee Stallion. That's my bucket list. The entire list. You could put it on a fucking post-it note. Right? Travis Scott stole my fucking idea. Okay, now he hasn't hooked up with Meg Thee Stallion yet, but I bet he'll steal that idea too, piece of shit. God damn it! Travis Scooter! Oh, dude, Travis Scott. outperform me. Thinks he's better than me. He's gonna perform at the fucking... You don't know that he didn't tap the Stallion? Oh yeah, I do. No rapper is gonna tap Meg Thee Stallion without putting it in their lyrics. 4 rappers have hooked up with Meg Thee Stallion, and within 2 months of them hooking up with Meg Thee Stallion, they released a song with a bar talking about how they hooked up with Meg Thee Stallion. Hooking up with Meg Thee Stallion is like clout or notoriety in today's day and age. If you want to get a female audience, you either A, have to be admired by Meg Thee Stallion, or B, be cool enough to dick down Meg Thee Stallion. Or Cardi B. And Cardi B is such a fucking pancake IHOP looking nipple bitch, nobody wants to do that. So it's Meg Thee Stallion all day. Nay, nay. Dude, if your dream is to hook up with Meg Thee Stallion and you want to invade her pants like a World War II battalion, you're going to need clap cleats. Because when you need more friction for that sex addiction, and you need more traction for that action, or you want to dance with Meg Thee Stallion and you need more grip to thrust that hip, you're going to need clap cleats. Let's see, dude. A list of people that could make me turn my back on the whites. Number 1, Meg Thee Stallion. Number 2, end of list. Number of people that could make me turn my back on the blacks. This is strictly in the bedroom, people. I'm not talking about race war. I'm talking about preferential bedroom treatment. If there was a girl who could get me to X out whites forever, it'd be Meg Thee Stallion. If there could be a girl to X out blacks forever, there isn't one. Meg Thee Stallion over them all, dude. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. Changing the emote. Emote. I'm going to get rid of the sponge ball. Remove from slot. Meg Thee Stallion. Boom. Boom. And then it should have worked. Is it working? Oh, dude, I think I have to I think I have to exit out of going live. There it is, I got it. Boom. The knees. We got the Megan the Knees Stallion emote back. Let's go, dude. We're back on that Megan shit, bro. Listen, to be honest with you, chat, I had to quit talking about Megan Thee Stallion for a while because there was a point in time where I talked about her every episode for like 3 months. And then every time I hopped on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, anything, all I saw was Megan Thee Stallion stuff. And to be honest with you, chat, I don't even like her music, but I love her music videos on mute. You know what I'm saying? Her music videos on mute, where the lotion at? That's what it is. Oh, Neil with the fucking... You the Patrick, dude. Don't look at me like that, Neil. Dude, if Travis Scott thinks he's going to steal my bucket list from me, I'm going to freak the fuck out. He's about to be 2 of 3. If he takes my entire bucket list, I have to kill him. I have to. Like, not literally kill him, but I have to kill him in our beef. Like, I'm going to have to make a rap song, which I don't even rap, and I'm going to have to kill him. Then I'm going to have to make a roast about him. I'm going to have to learn details about Travis Scott just to destroy him. This is what's going to have to happen. I hope that the Egyptian government Dude, I hope an Astro World situation happens and somebody in the crowd rushes the pyramid and then Travis Scott gets locked up for all of eternity because his stupid fucking fans on fentanyl and ecstasy can't keep their hands off the fucking ancient stones of Egypt. It's unbelievable, dude. It's unfucking real. It's almost as unreal as the fact that in Pittsburgh, the city that I am closest to, the city that if I was talking to somebody not from the area I actually live in, and they said, where are you from? I would say Pittsburgh, right? The fact that I live in this area, I love the Steelers, I love the Penguins. The fact that nobody cares about the Pittsburgh Pirates so much that I didn't even know they had the number 1 overall pick in the draft for the first time since Clemente. How come I had to find out after we drafted a guy from LSU with a fucking a Duck Dynasty mustache, right? Bob Nutting, the owner of the Pirates, is so trash and it's taken the Pirates so downhill that we literally give nutting fucks. We've got none. I didn't even know that the Pirates had the first overall pick in the draft. If the Steelers had the first overall pick in the draft, the city would be in fucking flames of debate. Every social media site that's based in, not social media site, every social media account that talks about the Steelers, is known by Steeler fans in Pittsburgh famously, would be on fire with the debate of who we should take number 1 overall. Nobody even knew the Pirates had the first overall pick till after it happened. Bob Nutting has turned the Pirates into nutting. And they have the coolest fucking logo. The Pittsburgh Pirates P is the coolest logo in Pittsburgh. And it's a disgrace now. It's a disgrace. Let's get into the hard-hitting subject. Pseudo Hill-Billies. Oh my god, I am so sick of these pseudo Hill-Billies, dude. Let me tell you guys something. Country music is not a personality. You fucking idiots. Okay? It's unbelievable. I see on a daily basis people upon people that identify with country music so much that they make it their entire personality. So, girl, if you like the guy that drives around in the lifted truck with the big old tires, not a single dent because it's never done farm work in its life, oh, but he wears boots and he wears jeans and his jeans have a circle in the back pocket where he has a snuff can. You're not dating a real person. You're dating a guy who thinks country music is his personality because he's too dumb and uncreative enough to make his own personality. Okay? It's mind-blowing. The amount of people I see with giant lifted trucks, not a dent in it, not a piece of dirt on it. It has zero work in its life. It's done zero work. And these people drive around, they've got rebel flags hanging off the back of it, Trump 2024, you know what I mean? Blasting Luke Combs or whatever fucking dork nerd they like, right? And then they have the nerve to tell me, you just don't understand. Country music takes a certain type of intellect. Oh, does it? How they speak so slow? It takes a genius to understand that they're talking about, my wife left me, she went to another man, but that's okay because I got myself drunk under another can. You know what I mean? I just made a fucking country verse on the fly. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. And then people make that their personality. They're like, I'm going to spend $50,000 on a truck, and then I'm going to spend another $50,000 putting a lift kit, lights on it, let me get a custom-made flag to tell people how fucking much I love the Confederacy. It's unfucking real, dude. It's unreal. People who've never done a single ounce of farm work in their life, walking around in boots, jeans, a flannel shirt with a cowboy hat on, talking about, hey, y'all want to come over here? Y'all want to listen to some Morgan Wallen? Fucking weirdos, dude. It's unbelievable, dude. Like, they're so fucking weird that there's a iPhone Android fight. First of all, I think that's stupid. Android and iPhone people fighting with each other. Hey, you both brought a product made by slaves. Shut the fuck up. How about that? How about you shut up? My slave device is better than your slave device. Shut up. That includes you, Joe Rogan, you dumb fuck. Okay? So, I didn't even know that Hill-Billies are so crazy. They have an Android iPhone situational war going on between John Deere and International. Like, two people will just be fighting over tractors like it's a fucking real thing. Like, you don't understand. My John Deere, me and my Patty put a turbo on it, turned it into a John Elk. And then his friend goes, I can't be beaten. Hillbilly logic. Yeah, well, me and my mammy, we put a turbo on International, turned it into an interdimensional. What you gonna say about that? You know, like, these people still subscribe to magazines about truck parts. Have you heard of the internet, stupid? They have the same parts there. It's absolutely insane to me that this is a real thing. And the funny thing is that you all are probably like, dude, don't talk about the Hill-Billies. Don't talk about the whites like that. I would talk about the same thing when it comes to rap, with the way they wear their chains, the Jordans, the basketball shorts, the fucking, the polo, like all that shit, the way they drink Hennessy. I would talk shit on all of that too, except that would seem like I'm being racist. So I have to talk about my people, which are dumb hillbillies that think country music is a personality. I've done more farm work than all of the people in this town that drive big lifted trucks and have girlfriends that also think country music is a personality. It's unbelievable, dude. People that look forward. They look forward to going to country music concerts because they're going to meet a bunch of other idiots that wear denim and fucking think that beer is cool. Go drink another Bud Light and have a good night, you fucking cock. No, long story short, I actually don't have a problem with country music. I actually don't have a problem with the fact that people use it as a personality. I have a problem with the fact that those people use it as personality and act like it's not. And this is who I am. The hill is who I am. Bro, you grew up in the suburbs. You went to a college that's known to be woke. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? The crazy thing is that I live in an area that if I would embrace that, if I didn't buy my car and I would have bought a truck instead, right? And if I didn't wear basketball shorts because that's what makes my balls feel nice, if I wore jeans instead, and instead of this over shirt, I wore a flannel over this shirt, I promise you I would have 4 fucking semi-chubby dolphins in my DMs right now from this area being like, oh my god, you're like cute. Like, being fat isn't a problem as long as country music is your personality. Girls love chubby guys as long as you're like, I work on a ranch. Even though you live in a fucking studio apartment and work at a restaurant, it's unfucking real, dude. I had a female boss. I'm sorry, Crystal, I gotta do it to you. I had a female boss who, like, she admitted that, like, she gets excited when she hears a big truck go down the road she lives on. What the fuck's your malfunctions, yo? You know what I mean? I asked her one day, I said, okay, let's say you're sitting in a bar, and the guy to your right has shit kicker boots on, tight jeans, and a flannel, but he talks down to you, and he has an almost incoherent accent. but you see his keys and it says Dodge Cummins or some shit. And then on the right, you got a guy who's wearing a suit, dresses nice, he's driving a fucking Prius, and he talks to you like you're a princess. Which one are you going home with? She said the guy with the truck. So I don't want to hear from these girls about anything. You're just a bunch of dumb country personality cunts that want to suck some country cocks. But guess what? Farms don't actually exist around here. There's 8 farms in the tri-state area, and I promise you the dude that you're sucking off ain't got one. It's unbelievable, dude. And then you get these people who listen to country music and they're welders, and they're like, dude, I'm a welder, I'm country. You fucking retarded or something, dude? Oh, dude, it's so annoying, dude. It's so annoying. And then, well, we already talked about how I can't talk about how people that do the same thing with rap music, you know what I mean? Oh, it's so annoying. Taylor Swift fans are the same way. All these mid to ugly girls thinking they're Taylor Swift. Hey, you know Taylor Swift's hot, right? Still got her heart broken? Why the fuck do you think you're special? I don't think I'm special. I used to. I used to cry about it all the time. And then guess what? I woke up and smelled the fucking roses of reality. I don't look like Drake. I don't look like Channing Tatum. I'm going to have to work hard for what I want in life. You don't look like Taylor Swift. You don't sing like Taylor Swift. You're never going to have what Taylor Swift has. So why don't you calm the fuck down? And to the guy who posted a picture of himself with a shirt he had made that says, I wish I lived in a country where it was easier to get Taylor Swift tickets than an AR-15. Hey, I just want you to know, we all know that when you fart, it's a pure, because your asshole's open. Whether you get pegged by females or fucked by guys or pegged by a female who pretends to be a guy, we know your asshole is open. You can't tell me I can't become Taylor Swift? I'm telling you, you can't become Taylor Swift, bro. 100%, dude. You're not becoming Taylor Swift. I don't know why you think you can become an above average looking blonde girl who sings country songs about how dudes don't treat her with respect. Right? Hey, Taylor Swift, let me ask you something. This is a serious question to Taylor Swift, who I know is watching. Taylor Swift, let me ask you something. Do you think there's no guy in your life that would have treated you like a princess or Juliet or whatever the fuck that song talks about? Do you think there's no guy you've ever met or wanted to go out with you that would treat you like that? Or do you think it's that you just chose people who were just as famous and or more famous than you who had egos? I'm just asking. Because I'm sure there's 100,000 like cucks in this country that would let you fuck big brolic black men and still treat you like a princess. And I'm not even saying that's a bad thing for you. But the fact that you choose these guys and then you like make these sad songs about how they don't treat you the way you want to be treated, it's almost like me. I used to cry, be like, girls never show me any attention. No, girls are mean to me. If girls actually cared about what they said they cared about, I wouldn't be single. That's what I used to say. And then guess what? I grew up and I realized the real world. I realized, oh, I never cared about my teeth when I was younger. I eat too much calories. And I like to talk too much. I'm probably going to be single for a while. That's reality. I could change some of those. And then I could not be single. See how that works? See how it works? When it comes to men, we're expected to change. We're expected to conform. We're expected to adjust to the way society adjusts. But if you're a female, accept no responsibility, nothing's your fault, and you can always fuck your way out of it. Hell yeah, dude. I'm tailor-made to become Taylor Swift swiftly? Nah, dude. Nah, bro. You are not tailor-made. Let me explain to you why. Neither your father nor your mother are tailors. So you can't be tailor-made. Secondly, God was a carpenter. Well, Jesus, who's also God and a ghost at the same time. It's the Holy Trinity. Figure that out. Okay? So, God's neither a tailor, nor are your parents tailors. You never went to school for sewing. I'm assuming you hated home ec growing up. And you're too tall to care about clothing. So don't give me that shit about your tailor-made. You're just trying to make a play on the word Taylor Swift. Well, guess what? My jokes are like the Pokemon move Swift. They never miss. And they're anything. Fuck, dude. Damn if I could have nailed it, bro. If I could have nailed it, bro. I fucked it up if they're anything. I meant to say, and they're everything including normal. That's what I meant to say. But I fucked it. I pooched it. You beat me on this one, Neil. You got me. Ooh, okay. All right, in about 10 minutes, I'm going to go to the Pokemon stuff. You can't sway me from my path of tailoring my looks and genitalia? You don't have the answer, Sway. Because at the end of the day, you can't also say there's more than two genders while only offering surgeries of two genders. So if I say I'm trans and I go to the doctor and I say, hey, I'm trans, they say, okay, you're born male. Here's the surgery to make you female. Well, wait a minute. I thought you guys said there was 150 plus genders. An unlimited amount of genders. Well, shouldn't there be an unlimited amount of surgeries? What if my gender identifies me as being a one-nippled, both having a dick and vagina, while my asshole being closed and I have to shit out of my stomach through a colostomy bag? What if that's my gender? Where's my surgery? Where is it? These transitioning companies are absolutely bigoted. They're like, well, we can do 2 surgeries and that's it. %, dude, on my mama. The government should definitely fund that surgery for you. Absolutely, bro. Are you serious? Come on, bro. What if I identified my lower body as an aardvark? You know what I mean? What if I identified as a centaur? What if that was a gender? I identify centaur as a gender. I want my torso to be cut off and surgically attached to a fucking horse. Because that's the only way I'm going to have a horse cock. I'm just saying that when it comes to, actually, I don't even know why I just say what I'm saying. I don't even know what I'm saying. We're having a good time. So, Neil, what are your thoughts about pizza? Give me your thoughts about pizza. Because we've already went over earlier in the podcast that pizza is in my top 5 favorite things. And it's ultimately led me to be a fat fuck. Dr. Pepper and pizza are probably the 2 main leading factors to me being a large and in charge. Okay? And everybody has this idea of pizza. Like, it's in most people's top 3, minimum top 5 favorite foods. Right? Everybody claims Italians made pizza. I've only had 2 pizzas in my life that I didn't like. And I'm pretty sure I still ate all of them. Word up, dude. I worked with a lady. Now shout out this lady. When I was I was 16. When I was a 16-year-old boy, I worked with this 45-year-old lady. And I worked at a pizza place. And this pizza place sold slices. Okay? And this lady came over at the end of the night and she was like, hey, let me buy them 2 slices from you. And I said, I'm honestly just going to give them to you because they're old. They're not good. I don't feel comfortable selling them to you. Because in my mind, there's a big difference between edible and something you can sell. Okay? And she looked at me in my face as a 16-year-old boy looking good as hell. Because I was in the prime of my physical life. She said, oh, honey, let me tell you something. There's 3 P's that even if you get a bad one, it's a good one. Pussy, pot, and pie. Or pizza. Pussy, pot, and pizza. Even if you get a bad piece, it's a good piece. That's what she said to me. And I've lived by that motto. There's no bad pussy. Sure, maybe it smells. But you just plug your nose and you go to work. Still a good time. Okay? Pizza. Like Neil said, the 2 worst pizzas he's ever had, he ate the whole thing. See you guys next week. I'm going to stream. Word up, dude. GG's, Pink. Have a good one, bro. All right, guys. In case you guys don't know, Pink Assassin is newly affiliated. We rated him a couple times so far. And very cool stream. Very open to jokes. Always open to anything I say that's wild, wacky, or mischievous. And this Saturday, he will be having a celebratory stream to commemorate the fact that he has become an affiliate. So, anybody who's watching live or post VOD, go over to Pink Assassins and give him a follow, and make sure you tune in on Saturday. He's going to be doing a giveaway for some cashola, and honestly, just celebrating their new setup, and I think it's pretty cool. Go check that shit out. All right. Let's get into it. I forget what I was talking about. Oh, pizza. I was talking about pizza. So in Pompeii, they have been excavating the city of Pompeii. Now, when we were younger, Pompeii was what you would consider lightly excavated. Okay? So they excavated it. They realized it was super significant. They made it a World Heritage Site. And then they started excavating it for real. Okay? And recently, in Pompeii, they've discovered a bunch of very cool things on the walls. Because apparently in Pompeii, those people were very into putting things on the walls to describe what the place was for, menus, so on and so forth. So they found this brothel that basically had a menu where you could order, where they had pictures of different sex positions on the wall that you could order from. So if you came to Pompeii from out of town and you didn't know the Pompeii language, you could literally just point to the wall and say, I want doggy style, I want missionary, I want this, I want that, I want Kama Sutra, or all of the above. And it was on the wall for you to point to and choose what kind of sex you wanted in the brothel. Fast forward 6 months. They uncover what was probably a restaurant with pictures of the food painted on the wall. And in one of these paintings was something that looked very, very similar to pizza. Now, it would have been a flatbread pizza because Pompeii only had flatbread, but Pompeii existed 500 plus years before the invention of pizza. So, did Italy steal pizza from Pompeii? Was there an existing suburb that wasn't covered in ash that transformed the idea of flatbread sauce and toppings with cheese to the Italians who decided to make a wheat crust bake with sauce, cheese, and toppings? The answer is I don't know. I don't care. Because Pompeii is cool as hell. And the fact that they are excavating it more and more every year is absolutely fantastic. It's what we need in this world. More excavation. Because they say, okay, that after 100 years, the soil that we have on the ground right now, wherever you live, right now, if humans stop doing things for 100 years, the soil that you're sitting on in the activity that you just did would be 2 feet under the ground after 100 years. So, I find it absolutely, not 2 feet. What is it? I think it's 2 feet for every 1,000 years. So there would be 2 inches above what we are now. Okay, after 100 years. We're trying to discover stuff from 20,000 years ago, and we're only digging 30 feet? That's not how the planet works. You can't tell me in one scientific article that the Earth replaces its skin, like a snake, 2 inches every 100 years, and then tell me we're only going to dig 50 feet to find things from 4,000, 5,000 years ago. The math doesn't add up, and you're pissing me off. All of science is pissing me off. You know what? I don't think I've pissed off YouTube enough this episode. RFKJ, RFKJ, RFKJ. Let's go. We need another Kennedy. I want to see a president get killed. Come on, dude. I've been a Steelers fan. I've seen 2 Super Bowl appearances. 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 Super Bowl wins. I've seen the Penguins win 3 Stanley Cups, 1 back-to-back, 1 set back-to-back. I've seen the Pirates absolutely be shit. Okay? I feel like I've seen a lot of things in my life, and what I need to see is I need to see a Kennedy get killed. My dad was born 6 months after Kennedy was killed. 3 months. Not even 6 months. My dad was born 3 months after Kennedy was killed. He was alive as a baby when RFK was killed. We need RFKJ to become president, so the deep state has no choice but to assassinate another U.S. public figure, and I want the internet to run with it, because there's no way you can pass it up, dude. The president with Watergate, Nixon, or Roosevelt, or Reagan, one of the 3. I think it was Nixon. Nixon with Watergate sent a private letter to his friend, and in that private letter he goes, I had nothing to do with Watergate, but the CIA couldn't kill me because things were too hot because they've done it too many times, so this is the new way of getting rid of me. Well, after COVID, if you don't think that has a possibility of being true, well, you can suck my left nut and spit out my cum onto a plant and watch it grow. That's what we're talking about here. So I bet you guys didn't know this. South Korea just changed the average age of their country overnight by changing a law. That's right. South Korea has not been counting age the same way as the rest of the world since its inception. in South Korea, if you are born on December 31st, on January 1st, you are 2 years old. So it's a year-based thing. It's a year-based thing. So it's basically whatever year you're born in. The next year, the next calendar year marks your birthday. Okay? So everybody's birthday is on the 1st of January. So if you're born on December 31st, January 1st, the very next day, is your second birthday. So there are people in South Korea who get to celebrate their 5th or get to celebrate a birthday twice. Right? So you could be 26 years old. Now that has to suck if South Korea, like, I don't know South Korean laws or anything, but if South Korea has similar laws to the United States about drinking, you have to be 21 to drink. Imagine 20-year-olds being like, this is going to be my birthday. And then they change the law so you have your 20th birthday 2 years in a row. That's weird as hell, dog. Why would you even do that? Why would you even set your country up like that? Damn, I start talking about South Korea, I lose every single viewer? What the fuck? Dude, Neil, that's funny as hell, dude, because I actually knew a guy who was born on leap year. We called him Big Kev, alright? So you know how small towns have, like, larger-than-life personalities of people who are, like, everybody know, but nobody knows? You know what I mean? We had one of those. His name was Big Kev. He worked at a local place. He was popular as hell. He taught baseball to the local teams. Like, the whole thing, right? So Big Kev was born on leap year. And it actually got him into trouble sometimes when he was younger, because there was a point when he was younger. So now, mind you, when I was 13, the guy was like 55. So, 40 plus years older than me. When he was younger, your age actually meant something. And when computers were implemented, leap year was forgot about. So sometimes when he was trying to confirm himself on websites or things like that, the computer wasn't sophisticated enough yet at the beginning to count that he was born on a leap year. So he would write, this is my birthday, I'm 34 years old. But then the computer would do the math, and because there's only one of those dates every 4 years, the computer would tell him, you lied about your age, you're only 9 years old, you can't watch porn. You know what I'm saying? So there was like a 2-year span where computers were so unsophisticated enough that it miscalculated his age based because his birthday was on leap year, and leap year only shows up once every 4 years. So it would only count once every 4 years as a birthday for him, and he would try to log into 18 plus sites, and he'd be like, nah, bro, you're 12 years old. You're 11 years old. What the fuck? R.I.P. Big Kev, dude. You'll always be missed in this heart right here, my man. He's one of my dad's best friends. I get what you mean. The whole 2YK thing was because they didn't have the 1000s programmed in the computers. Hell yeah, dude. Like, there was people, like, dude, this is what's crazy is, like, with social media, people will lose their minds about the littlest injustice. Like, right now, the biggest thing in Hollywood social media is the writer's strike. That nothing can be produced because everybody's scared about AI taking over writers' jobs. And as somebody who wants to get into comedic writing and or entertainment, blah, 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 I agree with them. I completely agree. You should be paid for what you say. But it's weird to me that it took Hollywood being affected for it to matter. Like, in the late 90s, people started making VHS and tube TV repair shops. And then the technology progressed, and they lost their business, and they probably lost their livelihood. They probably spent all their extra money on the business that went under because of technology. And then the same thing happened with DVDs and DVD player shops and flat screen TV repair shops. When everything was expensive, there was a market for it, so people sunk their life savings into it. And then they got screwed because streaming happened. But nobody cared because it didn't happen to the elites. But now that ChatGPT is taking over what's considered an elite job, you know, people that have power and connections, now it's a big deal. I've always thought that being very strange. Sparky, the crazy Sparky! You got gifted a sub today, sir. All right, word up, guys. We're going to do the raidsies. All right, it's the Juggernaut gestured out. Next week, we're going to talk about how Ben & Jerry's is fucking up by talking shit on America when America made them rich. Hey, you fucking fags. Shout out Twitch TOS, kiss my ass. These Ben & Jerry ice cream fags talking shit on America. Next week, I'm going in on Ben & Jerry's. GG's, GG's, GG's. Let's go. Let us go, let us go.